Well, good morning. We're at Whisky Falls here in Nelson Lakes National Park on the South Island of New Zealand. It's quite a tall fall with quite a bit of rocky rapids beneath, and we're going to see if we can get some decent images of it today. Welcome and thanks for watching. The first thing I'm going to do is take a look at some different shots, some different perspectives, some different angles, and see what we're going on. We've got no clouds. The clouds have dissipated within the last 30 minutes on the boat ride, and so the upper portion of the falls is quite hot, very white, lots of sun. But the lower portion is looking really good. Some dappled light, a little bit of mist in the air from the falls, as is almost always around falls. This could be a decent shot right here. We've got almost all of the fall in shadow, all of this down here in shadow. I'll set the camera up on a tripod and we'll see what it looks like. I'm going to take a look right over here first. And from this perspective, most of the upper fall is blocked by a tree. But we do have beautiful rocks and water coming down the rocks. That would makes for some really good detail shots. Some close in, maybe put a long lens on and see what we can come up with. So this is a nice precarious position. Right on the edge here, but that's all right. We're going to get a decent shot, hopefully. A little concerned about this bush right here, but I think it'll be well enough out of the way. So let's see what we can do. Alrighty, taking a look at these falls here. The very top, direct sun on the falls, so we've got a little bit of an issue with highlights and making sure that we don't blow those out, because then it immediately goes into shadow. And then the bottom 3/4 or so of the main fall in shadow, and then all of the rocks below pretty much in shadow with just a little bit of dappled light. We will take a look at both some exposure bracketing, and then also, because the widest I can go is 24 mil, we will probably also have to do a little bit of stitching as well. So we'll see how this goes. I'll show you what I see on the camera right now. You can see at the top, quite blown out. And if we bring in our exposure, maybe decrease our shutter speed, then we can see that we've got some decent look at the falls, and we can even capture a fair bit of the lower fall across the rocks, but there's even more down below, so I'm going to see what I can do about putting some of that together. Okay, so taking a look at what I've got, I'm going to turn this down quite a bit to try to preserve what's going on at the very top. Make sure that we are focused. Clean the front, keep it front. I'm going to turn on the 2-second timer. That way I can keep it clean until the very end. And then I'll just go ahead and take this shot, clean the front, remove, take the shot. Then I'm going to decrease my shutter speed just a little bit to enable some of that other stuff to come in. Take the shot, clean it, let it go. And you do have, gonna have to block the lens. Yep. So we're just gonna hold this out here like this. Take this shot. I'm gonna redo the upper shot and block the lens for that, so we don't have so much blown out. Now I'm just gonna take my, slide this down, increase my exposure a little bit. Two-second timer for the sunscreen. If those shots turn out any good, after I do a little processing, stitch them together, here it is. Well, I mentioned earlier that the lower part of the falls here might be good for some detail shots. So set the tripod up, different position, moved over about 3 meters from where I was before on the other side of this bush here. And what I've done is set up my camera so that I have a good shot of these lower falls, but I have excluded this bush here because it's in the direct sun and it's really, really bright. But the falls themselves, the rapids here beneath the falls, they're in complete shadow. So a bit of a blowout if I try to include that. Photography is about exclusion, not necessarily inclusion when it comes to your images. So what I'm looking at, and my hand is going to blow out big time. But what I'm looking at here in this scene is I've got these falls over here, I've got these falls right here, this stuff in the middle, and I've got this major white over here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I can see all of this coming in, this coming out, and I can also see where this exits at the bottom. I don't want to exclude that stuff because I think that's part of the image, right? So if I zoom out just a little bit, then I can make sure I have all of that included. All right, remember this is going to be a video image on my camera, so it won't be the same 2x3 that I get on my camera. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. Maybe vertical. Let's give it a shot anyway and see what it looks like. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's really nice. I have to turn my aperture, open it up, allowing some more light. It's at f16. At f16, it really wanted to slow it down to about 4-second shot. And for this water, I don't want a 4-second shot. I want a nice, crisp, clean, because I want to see all the sparkles of the sun hitting that water as it falls off the rock. Take it all the way down to f4. Free focus. My focus plane has changed significantly from f6.3 to f4. So now, but that allows me for a 20th of a second shutter speed, which is hopefully going to help freeze that 2-second timer. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All about the details. I'll probably not be able to come back to this location, so I take advantage of everything I can. Another shot right over here, water hitting, sunlight hitting the very bottom of a little rapid. So I'm at f4.5, ISO 200, 20th of a second. Yeah, I like that one too. That looks really good. I think I'm pretty happy with those images. I think pack things up, head back down the hill, and wait for my water taxi to show up. We've got a few minutes, but with all the rain we had last night, the walk down is not exactly going to be a Sunday walk. It's a little sketchy, just a little slippery. So if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. There are a few more details on my website. There are links below. And I look forward to seeing you again next time here in New Zealand. Haere.